India's steel industry maintained strong momentum in FY26. Crude steel production crossed 168 million tons, growing nearly 11% year-on-year, driven by infrastructure projects, manufacturing expansions, and healthy domestic demand. But alongside higher steel output, another important trend began to emerge. Iron ore, the primary raw material used in steel making, is witnessing a gradual shift in its demand pattern across India. Hello, I'm Adarsh. Let's take a closer look at what FY26 revealed about India's changing iron ore ecosystem. To understand the story, let's begin with the basics. India produced around 316 million tons of iron ore in FY26, up nearly 9% from FY25. At the same time, domestic iron ore consumption increased almost 10%, reaching around 285 million tons. This means both supply and demand grew strongly, keeping the overall market largely balanced. The real story lies beneath these headline numbers. Iron ore demand growth was supported by expansion across both major steelmaking routes. Consumption for hot metal production through blast furnace increased nearly 12%, reaching around 179 million tons. At the same time, pellet production rose about 10% to nearly 120 million tons, reflecting growing preference for efficient and higher quality raw materials. Growth wasn't limited to integrated steel makers. Iron ore consumption through the sponge iron route increased around 7% to nearly 106 million tons. This was supported by higher sponge iron output, which rose from 56 million tons in FY25 to almost 60 million tons in FY26. In simple terms, both large steel producers and secondary steel makers expanded together. The rise in iron ore demand was visible across major steelmaking regions. Odisha remained the largest consuming state with nearly 66 million tons of demand. Chhattisgarh followed at around 46 million tons, while Jharkhand consumed over 40 million tons. Karnataka also recorded strong growth, with demand reaching nearly 37 million tons. Demand remained firm across West Bengal, Maharashtra, and Gujarat as well. Despite higher domestic production, trade flows remained important. Iron ore exports stood at around 22 million tons, slightly lower than the last year. Pellet exports declined sharply by more than 50%. Meanwhile, iron ore imports surged nearly 70% to around 10.5 million tons, while pellet imports increased more than 5-folds. This highlights the continued need for imports to meet quality and regional requirements. So, what did FY26 reveal? FY26 showed that India's iron ore ecosystem remained balanced even as steel production expanded rapidly. But it also revealed some important structural shifts. Demand growth is becoming more broad-based. Pellet usage is increasing. Both the blast furnace and the sponge iron routes are growing simultaneously. The foundation of India's steel sector is becoming more diversified. India aims to achieve 300 million tons of steelmaking capacity by 2030, driving higher demand for iron ore, beneficiation, logistics, and quality raw materials. While FY26 showed that mining growth is keeping pace with steel expansion, sustaining this balance will become more challenging as production scales up. What are your thoughts on India's iron ore ecosystem and its journey to becoming a global steel powerhouse? Share your views in the comments. And if you want deeper insights, join us at the BigMint India Ferrous Week 2026, bringing together the entire ferrous value chain from raw materials and steel making to trade, logistics, technology, and market intelligence from 19th to 21st of August 2026 at JW Marriott, Kolkata, India. And don't forget to subscribe to BigMint.